The greatest lie we tell ourselves is I'm too busy and I don't have enough time. Busy is not a badge of honor. It's a confession of poor priorities. See, we all have 24 hours in a day, but we see some people achieving so much more than the others. And it's not because they're born geniuses, it's because they simply understand their priorities and they know the difference between being busy and being productive. Now, before I move on, I want to just say, try watching this video in a single go and even make notes of it if possible. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. 2025 का एक महीना already खत्म, and frankly, by this time, most of the people have forgotten about their New Year resolutions and are yet on the path of wasting another year. And this is exactly why I made this video, because I know a lot of people want to change themselves, but they just don't know the basics. To change your life, all you need are three things: a clear goal with a strict deadline, an accountability partner, and a system. And if you watch this video till the very end, I promise to give you all these three things to help you become a better self. In this video, I'm going to talk about a challenge that will transform your entire life. This challenge is made for everyone, from a college student to someone working full-time. Basically, people who are unhappy with their current life situations and want to do more. I'll tell you how you can achieve more in just 365 hours than most people achieve in 365 days. And no, मैं कोई बकवास बात नहीं करने वाला हूँ जहाँ पर आपको बोलूँगा मैं आप दिन का 1 घंटा दो for 365 days and you're sorted. I know real life is a lot more complicated than that. And everything I'm going to tell you in this video is something I've been doing for the last 3 to 4 years myself, and that has enabled me to get jobs in one of the largest investment banks in the world, make an audience of 140k followers on Instagram, and even enable me to run a small business for myself. But before I tell you about the challenge, I want to tell you about the fundamentals where most people go wrong. As a beginner, this is one of the worst mistakes that you can make. Trying to ignore the fundamentals is a recipe for disaster. अभी social media के चलते सबको लगता है कि everything is an overnight success. You can get viral overnight, you can build a lot of money overnight, you can make probably the best life overnight, right? But that is so not the case. A lot of work goes behind the scenes, and I'll explain you this with an example. Imagine करो आपको एक ब्रिज बनाना है to get from point A to point B. But because आपको वो ब्रिज बनाने की इतनी जल्दी थी, you did not spend a lot of time building a foundation for the bridge, and आपने वो काम जल्दी खत्म कर दिया. I'm sure not immediately, but a year or 2 years down the line, the bridge is bound to fall because it was not standing on very solid foundations. And this is exactly why no matter what challenge you take, no matter what you do, you will never be able to change your life entirely if you don't nail these three fundamentals down. Every year, your problem starts at the new year when you set your new year resolutions. By the end of this year, I will have achieved X. The problem with setting yearly goals is that the deadline is too far off and there is no sense of urgency. I'll give you the best example. एक कॉलेज स्टूडेंट जितना काम 3 महीने में नहीं कर पाता, एग्जाम वीक में उतना 3 दिन में कर लेता है. एंड इफ यू आर वर्किंग फुल टाइम लाइक मी, यू विल नो जितना काम आप पूरे 3 महीने 4 महीने में मिलके नहीं करते, अगर कोई डेडलाइन आ जाती है आप उससे ज्यादा काम 3 दिन में कर सकते हो. एंड इफ यू डोंट बिलीव मी, देयर आर इवन स्टडीज टू प्रूव दैट ह्यूमंस गिव इंपॉर्टेंस टू थिंग्स दैट आर अर्जेंट ओवर दोज दैट आर इंपॉर्टेंट. And this is exactly why I go a few steps deeper into my goal setting process and set quarterly and monthly goals. And I also make a daily to-do list to follow my monthly goals. इसका purpose बस बहुत simple है, right? Instead of saying कि मुझे साल में 12 किताब पढ़नी है, now it goes to मैं महीने में 1 किताब पढ़ूंगा. Which is a lot more easier to follow on, and it gives me a more urgent deadline to follow. इसमें ना बस एक कमी है. There is a saying that goes like, people often underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years and overestimate what they can achieve in a single year. And this brings me to my second point. Understanding the scarcity of time. No matter who you are, how old are you, and where you live, you will always be scarce of one resource in life: time. According to a study, an average adult spends about 7 out of 24 hours sleeping, 8 to 9 hours in college or doing office work, and 3 hours while eating और बाकी घर के छोटे मोटे कामों में. So you get about 6 hours each day to do whatever you want. Are you starting to realize what I'm trying to talk about? You have way less time than you think. And this is exactly why you need to be very picky with what you do and sort your priorities. Now I can talk a lot about goal settings, but for the context of this video, I will give you the most beginner-friendly method. Take 3 goals that will change your life in the most drastic way possible, each for mind, body, and finances, and work towards them. Now, before I talk about the third fundamental, which is the most important one, let's finally talk about the challenge. I believe in order to live an easy life, you gotta do hard things. बट ये हार्ड चीजें करने का किसी का मन तो नहीं करता. इसलिए I prefer gamifying all the tough tasks in my own life. And this is exactly why I made this 90-day challenge for you. I like to call the systems my 4 hour of daily non-negotiable. It is so simple and effective that anybody can do it. The rules are pretty simple and all you have to do is take out 4 hours each day to work on the 3 goals that you have set for yourself for the next 3 months. The first hour of the 4 is for the body. Now there are enough videos on the internet talking about the importance of physical health in our lives, so I'm not going to bore you with it. You don't have to go to the gym and get jacked. You can do calisthenics, go for a run, play a sport, do anything, just start moving more. And trust me, if you do it right, it will carry the momentum in all the other aspects of your life and you will see the results within the first 30 days. The next 2 hours of the 4 is for deep work. This is where you finally understand the difference between being busy and being productive. Constraining yourself in such short windows will force you to develop a fake sense of urgency and trick your brain to actually work faster. Now, this can be 2 sessions of 1 hour each if you have a lower attention span, or you can do one big session of 2 hours. The point is that you will pick one task that is the most important to you, set a timer, and only get up after you have done the work. And it goes without saying, throw your phone away and if possible, just avoid screens completely. The last hour of the 4 is for the mind. This hour is the sacred hour. No more social media scrolling, no binge watching Netflix, just you and your thoughts. Since you're not a machine, you're going to make mistakes. Actually, a lot of mistakes. And this is where the habit of self-reflection will come into play. In this hour, you will either journal about your day or read a book. I like to do both of these things for half an hour each. I'll tell you the best benefits about journaling at least. Once you start writing about what you have been doing every single day, you start seeing patterns which are holding you back. And that is where the real growth is. But you know what? Everything I've told you so far is a waste of time if you don't implement what I tell you. And this is the third fundamental that I was talking about, execution. I know hundreds of people with a lot of potential that have watched every self-improvement video or read every book out there, but have made zero progress in their lives. All because they're stuck in an endless loop of consumption. They consume everything, but never implement it. But you know what? I'm going to make all this even easier for you. The hardest part about a self-improvement challenge or even changing your life is trying to keep yourself accountable. And since there are no real consequences, majority लोग अपना promise बहुत जल्दी तोड़ देते हैं. But I don't want you to do that, and that is exactly why I'm giving you free access to a Discord community for this challenge where you can find yourself an accountability partner who will help you finish off this challenge. The link to this in the description below. You can join this after you're done watching this video. So this is it. This is how you can transform your life in 365 hours. No fancy apps, no expensive courses, it's just you showing up for 4 hours every single day and trying to become a better version of yourself. And by chance you're thinking that 4 hours is a lot of time, imagine investing less than 17% of your day to become the person that you really want to be. All I ask you to do is not to let this be another video you just watch and forget. Take action right now. Take a notebook, write the 3 goals down, join the community, find yourself an accountability partner, and show up tomorrow just for 4 hours. That's it. That's all I'm asking you, because the person you'll become in 90 days will thank you for starting today. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep being a Kaizenist.